hotel got us here. I'm too lazy to even pull out the little thingamajig that holds the phone, so I'm gonna have to hold it with my hand, as I've been doing. And this is our last day here in Quoc at the JW Marriott. The room is, as you can see, very interesting. It's very interesting. I love the designer. It kind of has like a Disney/Universal feel to it, which I thought I would enjoy more than I have. But I guess that's how I feel about Disney when I'm there too. Like, I get really excited, and then I'm there for 2 days and I'm ready to go home. And that's how I felt about the design of this place. It's a lot, and I preferred the Regent luxe minimalism design 1,000 times more. But this beach is a lot better than their beach. So, I mean, if you're a beach person, and if you're a beach person like I am, I'm gonna tell you that this beach here is, I mean, if I show you the beach, or if you see any pictures of the beach, it looks ideal. It looks like everything you'd want from a beach. But why am I still not like wow about the beach? I guess it's because there are just no fish in that entire beach. Now someone's calling. I'm gonna ignore it. They call a lot here. They check in a lot. They call a lot. They're really doing their best, and I appreciate that. But it's almost like too much service. I would rather a little less. So Trip Masters completely was a useless travel agency. I've used them before and everything's been great as long as everything goes easily. But my friend, his visa to get into Vietnam was off by 1 day. And so Vietnam Airlines canceled the rest of his flights. So I had to wait a day for him to get to Cambodia, and he had to buy his ticket out of pocket. And Tripmasters did absolutely nothing to help. And by the time they were trying to help, that same ticket that he could have paid for to get back, which would have been like $1,200, was now, well, $3,400 is what I saw when I looked myself online, and $3,600 is what Tripmasters was trying to sell it to us for. So they did zero help when we needed them and tried to sell us overpriced tickets. So I will never use Tripmaster again. I will just figure it out myself. I thought that the convenience of having the flights match up with times and not having to look at the calendar too much would have been worth it, but it absolutely was not worth it. So, and I kept sort of testing them, and I kept being like, okay, so you say this is the least expensive ticket for him to get back. Is this it? And they would send me something like, $2,500, and I would see one for $1,500. And then they would send me one, and I said, have you checked Delta by any means? And then they said some other number. Basically, they were always way above what I could find myself just booking directly through Delta. So Tripmasters, wow. And they still haven't canceled my return tickets going back. I decided just to book the same Delta ticket as he booked and leave here pretty much a day early. Why? Well, I think that going to the Regent first may have been a bad idea, because the Regent was so comfortable and service oriented, and then we got here and they try to be service oriented here, but the first room they showed us was disgusting. And then this room, even though it's got a great view of the beach and all of that, it's still got some disgusting things. Like I don't know if you can see, but on top of these mirrors and then the molding, this is a 7-year-old hotel. It looks like they haven't dusted it in 7 years up there. It's filthy. And I'm not that much of a stickler, but it's really, it's filthy. And then where the bathroom is, there's just a curtain instead of a door, which, who wants a curtain for a bathroom? There's a lot of wasted space in the beginning of the room. It's just, it's as smart as the Regent design is as dumb as this design is. And the quirky, I love Disney, I love Universal Studios feel to it sort of gets old fast. I feel like it's a waste of a wonderful beach. And the beach is wonderful unless you want to see any fish. There are no fish in that ocean. None. There's a lot of plastic, like every single place I've been in Southeast Asia. You see trash, trash, trash. I see all the guests here at this beach just picking up trash as they walk up and down the beach. And it's just like, I don't know where the trash comes from. I don't see trash like that in, well, in the Caribbean. I don't see it in Florida. I don't see it in any place in Mexico. I did see it in Cuba. They had trash beach for sure. Trash, trash. But I'm not used to seeing it in nicer places. And I guess there's just absolutely nothing they can do about it. So, and the food or the water, one or the other, it could have been the water, has upset both of our stomachs. So it's probably the water, I'm not sure. They have this great breakfast buffet that's included, but trust me, by day 2, with my stomach feeling weird, I was like, oh no, I don't want the runny egg. The first hotel we stayed at, which was in Cambodia, which was the Park Hyatt, was such a 10, and their food was perfect, and their breakfast was amazing. Their staff was amazing, thoughtful, considerate. So we started like that, and then we went to the Regent, which their beach is nothing special, but their service is very special. So, and their rooms are very special, very luxurious, perfectly clean. They said that they had, is it Aqua de Parma products, but I saw mostly Perricone, and I mentioned it, and then they brought me a bunch of the other. Although Perricone, as far as washing your hair, like shampoo and conditioner, I would say does a better job than the other anyway, but you know, it's less luxurious, so. But their entire mini bar was free. There were fresh flowers in the room. Here, the mini bar is paid. There's hardly anything that you'd want in it. They have Pepsi, not Coke, big deal to me. So I don't know. Would I come back to this hotel? I mean, like if I was in the area, maybe, but I wouldn't go out of my way. And when I compare it to places that I love in Mexico and places that I love in Hawaii, which are granted a lot more expensive, but a lot easier to get to, much easier to get to. And the ocean's there's no trash, and there's fish everywhere you look, and it just feels a little different. I'd probably stick with those. I'd probably rather just take a trip, you know, from Atlanta, where I live, getting to Hawaii takes, I feel like it's like maybe 10 hours. It's like 5 and 5 more, or 5 and 6 more. It's very doable. It's not like here where we had to fly through Frankfurt, which was where my friend got stuck, and that airport was nothing great, let's put it that way. And then we went through Ho Chi Minh City Airport, where when I went through, they changed my gate last minute and I had to figure it out on my own, and the same thing happened to him. So it doesn't seem very organized, and the whole airport smells like feet. Not like terrible foot smell, more like Cheetos dog foot smell, but it was just weird. And I wouldn't purposely probably fly through Ho Chi Minh City again. And I didn't feel much desire to, I might want to visit Da Nang someday because I hear they have a great beach. I definitely would go back to Cambodia, 1000% I would. Because I can't explain why, but it's just very, very special. You'd have to just see for yourself. But would I make it to this island, which used to be Cambodia, by the way, even though there's not a single Cambodian restaurant on this entire island, even though they used to own it. So that's weird. It's like they were just erased. But I love their culture. I love their food. And I'll go back to Cambodia. Would I come back here? I mean, it would have to be sort of convenient. And so, if you're somebody who's trying to get a good deal on an oceanfront room and you have a very strong stomach, which I normally do, and you're going to stay here for a while and you don't mind the long flight, and the long flight is also an expensive flight, then I think it's a great choice. It's a great choice. They really do try. I don't think that they really have down like what the service should be. So they sort of do things that they're not very intuitive. They do things that you wouldn't necessarily want, like, I don't know, fold a towel into a shape and put a couple of flowers in it. But the things you would want that you might even mention, they won't do. At the brunch every day this morning, I was like, can I have a mimosa? No, they don't serve any alcohol with breakfast. So no mimosas. No mimosas with breakfast. That is so weird to me. And I like literally couldn't look at the food, even though it was quite a spread this morning for breakfast. I just was like, give me a well-cooked omelet and some probiotic little yogurt drink and call it a day. Anyway, so JW Marriott, Quoc, if you're in the area, yes, definitely do not get a room that's ocean view without really looking at it. And if it's like disgusting, like the first one they showed us was, just don't take it. Also know that there is no general store in this entire hotel. So if you wanted a bathing suit, a cover up, more bottled water, if you wanted a hat, if you wanted sunglasses, they don't have a store like that on this property. I've never been to a nice hotel that didn't have a gift shop like that. Not one. So something to keep in mind. But with all that being said, it's very picturesque. It's scenic. If you're afraid of fish, you'll love this beach because it's very shallow and there are no fish. And I guess that's about it. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And, you know, keep in mind, I'm a spoiled person who's been to a lot of places, very picky about beaches, and that includes the quality of the sand, the color of the water, the people there, the service on the beach, and the fish. Are there a bunch of fish to see? I hope so. So keep all that in mind. Don't let me deter you. I'm really only just talking to people who are like me, who might be deterred by some of the things I said. So take care and travel soon.